Joining me live to talk more about what's happening today, though, is Stephanie Grisham, former press secretary for President Trump. Stephanie, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. And we are tracking that new information, that call reportedly happening right now between the House GOP and Kevin McCarthy to talk about a rules package. What are you expecting may come out of the call today?
You know, I'm skeptical. First of all, I cannot imagine every member of the Republican caucus on one phone call getting any work done at all. But, you know, I know that he might move the needle a little bit. I'm hearing he could get a few votes. But at the end of the day, he needs to get those 5 votes who are telling him absolutely no, or he needs to knock off at least one of them. And I think that that is impossible. Look, he's given them pretty much all they've asked for. I understand he's even going to concede a little bit more. I cannot imagine what that means. But I think there's too many of them who have said, I'm just never voting for him. So I'm just not sure he'll get it done. I think they've made their point. They're now doing it at the expense of, you know, the institution of Congress and the American people who voted so resoundingly in the midterms that people, you know, all of these people who we voted for need to get to work.
And your previous boss, former President Trump, did get a nomination for Speaker yesterday, even though he has endorsed McCarthy. What do you think it means that conservatives are not voting for him or seem to be listening to his endorsement?
Well, I think that that has been a long time coming. I do believe the midterms are what kind of turned the tide there. I'm still always, you know, never count Donald Trump out. You never know. But I think that it's very significant that they aren't listening, that somebody like a Matt Gaetz, even though he is the one who nominated him for Speaker, but Lauren Boebert is another one. Or Marjorie Taylor Greene, the fact that they didn't vote for him shows, you know, it shows a lot. It's important for people to know that. He's really lost steam.
We were just discussing the history of other long speakership elections. How do you think this one will be remembered in the history books?
Well, not kindly. I mean, it looks childish. And, you know, again, at the end of the day, the people of the country are who's suffering. They do not care who Speaker of the House is. They want all of our elected officials to get to work. And, you know, these 5 people, I guess it's 20 right now, but this small group of people are essentially holding the work of Congress hostage. They're getting everything, again, that they've asked for. And, you know, I am no fan of McCarthy whatsoever, but with all the concessions that have been given, I don't know that anybody could be, you know, successful in the role. And I think that sadly, this is a preview of what we're going to see in the next 2 years.
And I mean, you're speaking about concessions. If McCarthy does eventually secure the speakership, do you think his authority will be so weakened by the concessions that he's had to make so far?
Well, I do. I think I'm not sure how he will corral all of those people if only one vote can be put up to kick him out of the speakership. I have a feeling he will be the shortest sitting speaker in history. So there will be another historic milestone we've made, sadly.
Ken, one more question for you. Do you believe that Democrats are benefiting from all of this?
You know, I do, because, from what I've seen so far, Republicans haven't tried to reach across the aisle to see if the Democrats would work with them to get somebody in office. I don't think they're helping their case with all of the popcorn emojis and how much they're enjoying it. But to be fair, Republicans would be doing it on the other side. So I do think it's helping them. It's just showing more chaos and what's to come.
I mean, we're talking about chaos. I do want to ask one more follow-up question, because today also does mark those years since the January 6th attack on the Capitol, and that is the backdrop against which the vote is taking place today, hopefully on a speaker. Do you think America has made progress in reconciling our divisions since that day?
I think that the American people have seen what really happened. I think that, you know, it has been shown by, you know, many people being actually convicted and sentenced to either prison or parole, or not parole, but you know what I'm saying. I think that people have seen that there are consequences for their actions. I think that, you know, from a PR perspective, I was actually just thinking this morning, you know, how unfortunate that the speakership is up for grabs on this day. I mean, the PR perspective and snapshot and what people are going to see on their screens today, it's really, really unfortunate. But I do think people are moving on from January 6th. You can only dwell on it so much. I think that we should today just thank all the officers and all the people who worked really hard that day to keep people safe so they could do their job and certify the election.
All right. Former press secretary to President Donald Trump, Stephanie Grisham, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.